Lord forgive me for this trap shit. Sergeant Smack make it backflip. Tell he Hank with the action. With the vital speaking Spanish. Frank Matthews how I vanish. Came back like I'm King Tut. Gold BBS's on a beamer. When Fat Cat was 10 queens up. Ball off the profit, not the re-up. Fly like Puerto Rican Jesus. Uptown like I'm Baby May, just caught a touchdown.
Good evening, I'm Sylvie Weatherspoon.
And I'm Michael Marsh. As law enforcement from across the region mourns, the focus turns to the man accused of murdering him. He's at Our Lady of the Lake in Baton Rouge tonight under heavy guard, facing serious charges, including the murder of a federal agent. That's in addition to murder charges Jamie Croom already faced in New Roads, accused of a double murder where a brother and sister were gunned down at a bar on Ash Wednesday. Croom had been on the run, labeled one of the most wanted in the area. A task force tracked him down to a motel on Elm Grove Garden in North Baton Rouge near the airport. Shots rang out when authorities tried to get him.
We start with something that Poincapé Parish doesn't often see. It's a double murder.
Deputies tell us it happened overnight outside the Sugar Shack nightclub in New Roads. Andrew Nomura says a brother and sister are involved and the suspect is still out there.
I got a phone call from my sister saying your cousin has been shot and killed.
It was tough news to take in for Nikki Shines after hearing not only one, but two of her cousins, Seneca and Lachelle Williams, were shot and killed Wednesday morning outside the Sugar Shack nightclub in New Roads. The two were brother and sister.
It was shocking. It was crazy. I would have never believed that in a million years until I called my daddy and he confirmed it.
Poincapé Sheriff Bud Torres says investigators learned both Seneca and Lachelle were inside the club when a fight broke out. He believes that is what led to the gunfire.
I think this was a situation where a physical altercation occurred. It escalated from that point and developed into the actual shooting.
The search is now on for this man, Jamie Croom, and he's no stranger to investigators. Croom has had an extensive rap sheet spanning back to 2000, with several arrests for violent and drug-related charges. Among the many charges is attempted second-degree murder by a convicted felon. Torres says Croom should be considered armed and dangerous and wants people to be on the lookout. As for Shines and her family,
justice is all we want right now. That's all we can do. Nothing else. We can't do nothing else. We can't change time. We can't do nothing. So justice will be the only thing that'll give us some closure right now at this moment.
First and last name.
Andrew DeMoret, WAFB 9 News.
Now, Poincapé Sheriff Bud Torres is not ruling out any possibles of a second shooter that believes Croom was not acting alone. If you know any information about this, please call Crime Stoppers at 344-STOP.
It was around 11:30 in the morning when the first calls for help began flooding police radios. The response, unprecedented, as nearly 50 law enforcement officers from around the area raced to the scene at the Elm Grove Motel. We were in the area as officers began showing up in droves. They covered nearly a mile of the street where the shooting occurred. This witness recalled the chaos.
I know police was coming from everywhere, but this is a very unusual event in this neighborhood.
Our sources tell us Deputy Marshal Josie Wells was taken to Lane Regional Hospital, but died before he even arrived. An ambulance also rushed to the scene to take the suspect, Jamie Croom, to the hospital, after our sources say he was shot in a hail of gunfire.
I just heard a rash of gunshots like pop, 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 pop. And that was it.
Today's shooting sent shockwaves through the law enforcement community as they solemnly joined together in solidarity to support each other. The news of the loss of a federal agent was hard to put into words for the U.S. Marshal of the Middle District, Kevin Harrison.
This must be gut-wrenching for you guys, having to go through this and having to alert the Marshal's family today.
Yeah, it is.
Now, Jamie Croom, the man accused of the shooting of the Marshal today, faces federal charges for what happened, but also for a double murder in New Roads.
If he survives, he could be a while before he answers the allegations against him in Poincapé Parish. Croom is accused of opening fire in the parking lot of the Sugar Shack after Mardi Gras 3 weeks ago. Investigators say a fight inside the joint spilled outside. Shots rang out. Seneca and Lachelle Williams were shot and killed. Croom has a lengthy criminal record, including arrests for attempted murder last year, another attempted murder charge in 2005, and carjacking in in 2000. He faced numerous other charges in between.
A task force led by federal marshals arrived at a motel in Baton Rouge Tuesday morning while attempting to arrest Jamie Croom. As the marshals were making their way into a room, Deputy Josie Wells was shot by Croom, sparking a fierce gunfight before Croom was subdued by other officers. His condition is unknown. Croom is a wanted suspect in a shooting that killed brother and sister Seneca Lee Williams and Lachelle Rita Williams in a parking lot outside a nightclub in mid-February.
Yo, we back. It's your boy Popalot. Mobb ties. We on our way to Louisiana with it. Baton Rouge to be exact. Now, the guy that we're going to be covering today is a guy by the name of Jamie Croom. Now, a little bit about Jamie Croom. The way the news and the media, from what I read, portrayed him as a pretty much a career criminal. Not sure what he had going on besides the street shit, but they done tallied him with a couple attempts. Hit him with a carjacking. From what I read, he was on parole for like gun charges at the time, or he was on probation for gun charges at the time of the first double murder. Now, the double murder occurred at a nightclub called the Sugar Shack. And I want to say it's in Point Coupe Parish. I could be wrong, but that's the area I'm going to say that I remember seeing a lot about. And allegedly something had happened in a bar, like that shit always goes down. A fight stumbled outside of the bar, and I just read multiple accounts of what happened. I heard the brother and sister got shot. I read one thing that said that he stood over them to make sure that they was dead. It's just like, this shit just so crazy, man. I almost want to tell y'all, man, y'all just don't believe me about this motherfucker, because it's like you never know shit. But, so that happened. Boom. He goes on the run for the double. He ends up at a seedy motel. I guess it ain't, if it's a motel, it's seedy. You ever been to a nice motel? If y'all have, man, y'all get in the comment box. Y'all let me know, man. Because I have never been to a nice motel, man. It's the Condo Lodge, shit like that. The Budget Inn. In my city, it's the Thrift Inn. And we're going to have a Mobb Ties coming up specifically where I'm going to ask y'all a question about those hotels in your neighborhood. And if they are. Yeah, some of y'all probably don't even got them shits. But, yeah, back to the point. Well, he was on the run, ducked off at one of those, I call it like seedy motels, airport motels, and the marshals happen to get a tip that he's there. They go, they bust in, boom, boom. A marshal named Josie Wells, ends up being shot in the neck by Mr. Croom and dying. In turn, the police and the marshals apprehended Mr. Croom, shoot him. He ends up succumbing to his wounds. I guess a good question was these marshals in plain clothes, or was they identified? I think definitely probably when they come to you, they have some kind of identification. But pretty much, I guess I usually try to say, well, what I got from this story, what I picked up. Really, the main thing I picked up is like, some niggas, especially niggas that been to jail, in and out, them niggas just don't want to go back at any cost. Whatever the cost is, I don't want to go back. Now, we all know them other niggas, like our cousin or somebody else, the niggas that just seem like them niggas like going to jail, man. Them niggas every summer, them niggas in jail. Every winter, it's like they fighting the case. It's like they must got their real friends, and I don't know what the fuck going on, man. And shout out to my nigga Chuck too, man. Everybody know Chuck, man, around here. That nigga stand some shit, but And that's pretty much what I summed up from it. And I pretty much figured that Mr. Croom was one of them niggas. His sister even said it, that yeah, he ain't going back. He on that type shit. So yeah, ain't really much to take from that, man. It's really when a bad situation turned to worse out this motherfucker. But y'all already know what it is with me. We gonna be back with some more shit. It's your boy Popalot. Y'all niggas follow me on Twitter, on Instagram. Y'all tapping in the comment box below. POP_A_LOT. And we gonna be back with some more for y'all. Y'all already know what it is. Mobb ties.